I wanted to connect with you. It's a new week, it's a new day, and sort of a new month as well. I've been not very active in the past few days on Facebook, and there was a reason. I was sort of in a mini hibernation, and I was trying to figure out what is the best way for me to serve you. And you know that my focus has been on nutrition right now, and in serving you through figuring out the root cause of your symptoms, whether it's IBS, diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, cramping, cravings, lack of energy, weight issues. The focus has been nutrition. And rightly so, because that's how I began my journey with nutrition. And one of the things that I was doing when my own journey towards healthy life and changing the way I felt was nutrition. Now, if you don't know my story, it began with chronic pain, fibromyalgia, which I didn't know at that time that I had fibromyalgia. And then it was IBS along with that, chronic diarrhea, going to the washroom 20 times plus a day. And at that time, I was really, really focusing on how I could get healthy because I was done. I was done feeling crappy. I was done feeling debilitated and trapped in my body where there was just so much pain, so much agony that I was not able to function normally. It was debilitating, it was frustrating, it made me angry, it made me sad, all those emotions, right? And that's why when somebody suggested to me, maybe look at, taking away dairy from your diet, you could be lactose intolerant. Maybe that's the cause of your IBS. And I started doing that, feeling better. And then I went to nutrition school so that I could study nutrition and I could, figure out a way to eat with anti-inflammatory foods that would calm the inflammation in my body and get rid of my fibromyalgia, and then take away foods and heal my gut and work on my digestion so that I could not, I would not suffer with IBS anymore. So my journey began with nutrition, and when I used to go to the doctor at that time, all that I was being told is it's all in your head. Your blood tests are normal, your other tests, and I've done tons of tests, right? I've done so many tests you cannot even count. Everything was normal. So I was getting from my doctor, it's all in your head. And what he meant, or they meant, because I went through a series of doctors at that time, was that you are pretending. Nothing is really wrong with you. This is all just maybe an excuse not to work or just to come back here and keep telling me how crappy you feel. Maybe you need attention. And it hurt. On top of all the physical stuff that I was going through, when I hear someone like my doctor tell me that it's all in your head and you're imagining things and you're pretending, it was not pleasant. And as I was working through my nutrition, course, and as I was experimenting on myself, and I was, looking at alternative modalities like homeopathy, like acupuncture, like physiotherapy, like kinesiology, I really incorporated a big chunk of holistic alternative healthcare practices because I knew that there was just no one answer. I wanted to figure out whatever was working for me at that time so that I could continue doing those things and start feeling better and better. And at the same time, I started also to look at my own mindset patterns, my beliefs, my blocks, my limiting ideas. What was causing me that pain? And it's ironic that when my doctor said that it's all in your head, eventually in a few years, I actually realized a big chunk of my sickness was in my head, right? Now, The difference being, when my doctor was saying it's all in your head, they meant that you are imagining things, you're pretending things, this is a lie. Whereas when I discovered that this is all in here, it was the stories that I was telling myself, it was the stress that I was taking, it was being that perfectionist type A person who was driving herself to perform, outperform herself, and to, you know, to do things that I wanted to do and excel at them. I was taking that pressure on me. So it was those stories that I was telling myself. It was that almost vicious cycle of, you haven't performed, you need to be at this level. I was in the corporate world at that time. You have to climb the corporate ladder. And it was a high performance attitude that was also contributing to my problem. And the thing is, what we need to understand is that when we have thoughts, they trigger emotions in us. So, when I have a thought like, I have to perform, I have to grow in the corporate ladder, I have to, hi, whoever's joining in, please say hi. When you get those thoughts, you are triggering emotions. And whether that emotion is sadness or anger or frustration or joy, you're triggering emotions with your thoughts. And those emotions affect our bodies. So if there are happy emotions like joy and excitement, then we feel good. But if those emotions are that of frustration and anger and sadness, then we try and push them down because we don't want to feel sad or angry. So we shut down those emotions. And when we do, that manifests as physical pain, as mental stress, and that's when you start experiencing symptoms. So the symptoms that you might be going through, whether it's craving or whether it's IBS or it's chronic pain like fibromyalgia, or it's acid reflux or digestive issues or migraines, anything that you are physically experiencing has got to do at some level with the thoughts that you are having, the emotions that you're suppressing. And so far my practice has been quite focused on nutrition, but holistic nutrition, as you know, is not just about the diet, it's about the body, mind, spirit. It's about taking care of all of those. That's why it's called holistic. So going forward, I really am going to be incorporating the stress, the limiting beliefs, and the mindset shift or the paradigms that we have created for ourselves into my practice. And I've actually been doing that in a big way with most of my clients. But if you think that you need to just take care of those dietary, restrictions, or if you just can eliminate that sugar from your diet, or if you can just stop eating wheat or desserts, and that's going to take care of your health, yes, it will in a big way. But until your mind is in the right place to implement those changes, they will not stick. It's not easy to just quit sugar because you've come up with a whim that I'm going to quit sugar and that's it. Until your mind is ready to quit sugar, unless it's decided that it will quit sugar, and unless we've taken care of the imbalances which are causing you sugar cravings, sugar cannot go away from your diet. So it has got to be a marriage almost of the dietary changes and of the mental readiness. And a lot of times, I would say a big percentage of times, people tell themselves a lie that these things are okay, that what they are going through is not that bad. but only you know how bad this is. We tell ourselves it's okay because we want to just plow through our challenges and just go on to the next thing that we are doing without actually paying attention as to how it's costing us. How are these symptoms, how is having that IBS and being stuck in the toilet whole day long costing you? What is it stopping you from doing? How when you emotionally eat, when you can't control yourself at the sight of sugar, or when you go, when everybody is asleep at night, you go hunting in the fridge looking for chocolate, how guilty do you feel with that? What does it do to your confidence? What does it do to your sense of freedom? You really, really got to ask yourself that. And most of us are very good at lying to ourselves and telling us, oh, it's not that bad. But we know deep down how bad this is or how good this is. So if it's actually not affecting your life in any way and it's an occasional thing, fair enough, everybody goes through that. But if it's affecting you at a deeper level, ask yourself that question. You really, really need to ask yourself that question, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So don't ignore your needs. Figure out what is happening, how deeply is it affecting you, and how ready are you to make a change. And with this change in my messaging, perhaps there'll be certain people who will no longer resonate with what I'm saying. And that's okay. We all have our opinions. If you stay along and you come with me on this journey, I'll be very happy to. And if the message doesn't resonate with you, that's fine too. Because we all have our journeys and we all need to find out what is the right thing for us. But having known through my own journey and having talked to other women who have either gone through a similar journey or who are experiencing this kind of a thing in their life right now, where they're driving themselves to the point of exhaustion, to the point of a burnout, to the point of going through a crash, where they're unforgiving of themselves, where they think that self-care is selfish, it's not serving you. And if I can make one positive difference in your life right now, then my mission will be served. That's what I'm here for. So I really wanted to reach out and ask you, where are you in your thought process? How seriously are you taking your own health? What do you think is stopping you from being at your healthiest? Do you know of anybody else? If it's not you, you might know of a friend, of a sister, of a colleague who is going through this, who is struggling day in and out to figure out what's wrong with her. Why is she in so much pain? Why is she having physical symptoms? Then please bring her to this conversation. I have a Facebook group called Wellbeing Unleashed. I'd be very happy if you would join that group and carry on this conversation. It is really about taking your own power back. My work with my clients is about them getting back their freedom, getting back fun in their life, and then claiming their own power. Freedom, fun, power. You want to be free. You want to be free of physical symptoms, of cravings or diarrhea or constipation or IBS or lack of energy. You want to be free. You want to be free of those limiting thoughts and beliefs and patterns that block you from achieving your potential, that keep you feeling stuck. You want to be free from that feeling of being stuck and distraught. You want to have your power back so that you can live life on your own terms. And you want to have fun while doing that. Life is not serious. It has to be fun. If it's not enjoyable, then what's the point of living another minute? So if you are looking for freedom, fun, and power in your life, if you want to get unstuck, if you want to get rid of that distraught feeling and reclaim that freedom and that power that you had once, or maybe you've been searching for all along, then join the conversation. Come along with me. Let's do this together. And I'll see you soon again. So make sure you join my Facebook group, Wellbeing Unleashed, and let's carry on the conversation. I really, really want this for you because I've been there. I know what it feels like, and I want the best for you. I don't want another woman stuck in that position for 1 millisecond longer than you have to, and only you can decide that. So if you decide that you want to change, if you decide that you cannot continue like this any longer, come join me in this conversation. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.